in mind, and maybe you have your own intention for what it means for you to come into presence. So please let my words kind of slide off you and do your own thing if you'd like. And if the words help point you to that, then allow them to guide you along. So I always like to close my eyes when I do this process, but you can have eyes open or closed. It's nice to have a straight-ish back. It doesn't have to be overly straight. And we want to be relaxed and just start to focus on our breathing. Notice your breathing as it moves into your body and as it moves out of your body. And follow the breath wherever it goes, allowing it to be regular, allowing it to be natural, but bringing your attention to the breath. And now following the breath into the body, the physical body, notice where you're at today. How does your body feel right now? Is there anywhere in particular that kind of calls your attention? Bring your focus to that place if there is, and just notice what the body is asking for. Is it asking for space, for stretching, for relaxation? Is it asking for a certain kind of emotion or color or thought? Like maybe just a word that you can give to your body. Somewhere in your body wants a word like marvelous or outstanding or beautiful or relax or accept or expand. Whatever word comes to you is the right word. And in this way, you're starting to tune into your intuition. Now, beginning to just imagine the space around your physical body and tuning into that. And let yourself get as wide and expansive as you wish. Imagining that your attention, your focus can just go out anywhere in the universe. And let it go on a little journey, maybe to a beautiful place, maybe to a spot in nature or a view of the world. Or maybe just to the space behind your back or in front of your forehead or around your feet. And let your breath connect with this spaciousness, however it wishes to. Letting your breath and your heart connect with this wide spaciousness. And bring an intention for yourself into this moment, whatever it is, whatever you would like to receive. And bring an intention for this group. And bring an intention for some part of your life, your community. And take a moment to wish well for others. And whatever you wish for others, allow yourself to wish that same thing for yourself. Feeling that wish right in your heart. Feeling that wish in your belly. Feeling that wish in your feet. And letting that wish, that intention, be felt and shared by everyone together here. And when you're ready, opening your eyes, and you might want to move your fingers or shake them a little, whatever you need to do. Okay, I always feel better after that energy practice. Now we're just going to take 3 deep breaths where we're going to clear the energy for the important topic tonight of procrastination. So breathing in, out through the mouth, and let your hands expand and let go of anything that needs to be let go. 2 more times. That's a wonderful clearing energy breath you can do anytime to kind of help transition or move into presence. All right. So to start tonight, I want to invite you to take out something to write with that you can write in the chat if you wish, or in a document or in a notebook. And I want you to consider when in your life, current life, not in the past, but right now in your life, when do you procrastinate? And just write down when that tends to happen. Some people it's like a day of the week. Some people it's a time of day. Some people it's when they get tired, you know, after a certain amount of minutes of focus. For some, it's when their blood sugar drops. For some, it's when there's an emotional disturbance. There's many different ways that it shows up for us. So when it does show up for you, just imagining that time, what kind of stuff do you like to do to procrastinate? So this is really important to start noticing. What do you like to do? Do you like go on Facebook? Do you clean? You know, what's your style of procrastinating? We all have an individual, unique style of procrastinating. And sometimes the feelings we get when we procrastinate are good indicators of our style. So are there any certain feelings you get when you procrastinate? So I'm going to read you a list of some kind of common emotions and actions, examples. And this is going to help you kind of see a little more. We're just shining a light, getting a little more clear about our particular style. And so the attitude here, if you can, is sort of bring up a curiosity about you and procrastination, a wanting to know more about this relationship. Just like as a coach, you want to know more about a client. This dynamic between you and procrastination is a very interesting client in a way. So already there's been some shares: connect with friends, clear out emails, tidy. When I'm scared, I lose myself in it. I escape how I feel. Make new smoothies and juices. I think I know. Oh, Emma said that. Wonderful. I do something else to achieve. Interesting. When I'm in overwhelm, I procrastinate and then love to clean, which gives me a feeling of accomplishment. Do anything but what I'm supposed to do. Art. So already we've got some very skillful procrastinators here. Now, anyone do anything really mundane and useless? You know? Okay, I do. I could even show you guys. I play an app. I play a game that's it's like I can pull it up right on my phone because I'm so good at it. Wordscapes. And you can see I'm on level 286. So I put some serious procrastination time into my wordscapes. And so, you know, not all procrastination is useful, but sometimes it's hardworking. So there's different styles. Hardworking procrastination might be I clean when I procrastinate, or I organize. Well, to me, that's hardworking. To someone else, that might not be hardworking. But you get the idea of what a hardworking procrastination might look like. creative. I go dancing, do art, listen to music, right? So there's the creative style of procrastinating. There's the fearful. I imagine everything I can that terrifies me, so there isn't any point in doing what I need to do. Now, that might play out differently for different people, but I think we've all had fear come in and create procrastination. I know if there's emotional worry about a family member, I often find it like my focus goes out the window, right? I don't know where it goes out the window, but it definitely goes somewhere out the window, and I lose focus when I'm worrying about someone. Critical. My need to be perfect makes it impossible to start something. So that's also really, really interesting. Does procrastination kick in before you even begin the thing? Or does it show up when you're in it but getting tired? Or does it show up when you've already made some progress, but it's like saying, don't finish, don't complete that thing. You've got to stop before you get to the end. You know, so where is it that way? Write down insights for yourself, because then you're going to be sharing them. Is your procrastination loving? I tell myself I need to relax and feel good and doing the thing I need to do. I need to give myself that. I don't know what I wrote there. Oh, doing the task I need to do that I'm procrastinating is not going to give me love or make me feel good. So there's really no point in doing it because it's hard. It's going to make me feel crummy. So I might as well do something that makes me feel good because I want to love myself. So that might be one style of procrastinating. Another is connection. I relate to others through my problems, and not doing this is a big problem. And someone else is going to be able to help me with this. So I talk to people about the thing I'm not doing, and it gives me connection, right? Another style is blocked. I feel stuck, like I lost my way. I can't see where to begin or go. I feel blocked. I don't know where I'm going. So you guys have this sheet. Circle one of those or write it down for yourself if one applies more, or make up your own. I'm going to give you a couple minutes now to think about that. So under journal 1, my procrastination style and actions. So what you do and what your style is. And if none of those above on the list fit you, make your own. And next we're going to do something really fun with it, but I want you to really have time to write this down for yourself. And I am using the exact same document you guys are using. Now, before we go to the next journal question, I'm going to tell you a little story because I think stories are really useful. And this is a story that actually relates to becoming friends with procrastination, but it has nothing to do with procrastination. But it really does tie in, and maybe you'll get a sense of it when I'm partway through the story or afterwards or tomorrow, I don't know. But so a true real story from my life. When my children were young, they went to a park day. For a little while, we homeschooled in San Diego, lovely weather. So we were at the park all day. We really weren't doing any schoolwork. We were playing with kids at the park. And so we were at the park. It didn't happen every day, but it did happen a couple times a week. And there was this one little boy that was in park day that was a real troublemaker. And it had gotten so bad. He picked so many fights. He even threw rocks at different kids. And he had really become such a troublemaker in this little group of, I don't know, maybe 20, 30 kids, that the mothers at Park Day told me they were considering talking to his parents and saying he couldn't come anymore to Park Day. Now, he was about, I don't know, 9 years old. And I'm a really inclusive person. I really didn't like the idea of any child being denied going to Park Day because they were causing some disturbances in the friendship groups and whatever of 9, 10, 11-year-olds, you know? So I had an idea, kind of strategic idea, maybe you could say a sort of spiritual idea. And it was I told my children that were close to his age that we're going to do an experiment. We're going to buy this boy a present. And they had to pick something he would really, really like. I don't remember what they chose, but they knew something he would like. And we bought the present. They wrapped it. There might have been more than one present. And I said, now we're going to give him the present and we're going to apologize for whatever. I told the kids, you're going to apologize for whatever you've done in the past. You don't know what you did, but you did something that must have upset him and made him have troubles at park day. But you want to give him this present as a sign that you're taking responsibility and that you want him to be your friend and you don't want any more troubles. And we did this, and my kids gave him the present, and we didn't tell any other families about this. And the boy was so happy and started to get along so well with the other kids that he came to a birthday party at my house. The parents became friends, and little things would show up, but he was able to step into the social circle in a way he hadn't been able to before. And it just took that one gift and acknowledgement that it wasn't all his responsibility or fault. There must have been something else that happened. And so I just tell you that story to kind of get you in the mood of becoming friends with procrastination. So the next thing in your journal is we are going to get creative here. And then we're going to share with a partner about this, okay? You're going to create a metaphor for procrastination. So if procrastination were a person or an animal or a kind of house or building or maybe a kind of outdoor area or a business, what would it be? It can be anything. It can be a petting zoo, a gas station, an ice cream store. It can be your Aunt Matilda, whatever you want it to be. Make procrastination into a person, animal, house, business, place in nature, something that's a metaphor. So someone might say procrastination is a gas station. Another might say procrastination is a ballerina. Now okay, I'm gonna give you like 10 more seconds to make sure you have something. And it's okay, whatever you imagine right now is the right thing. Just trust your intuition. Even if it seems really weird, like a sandwich shop and you're gluten-free and don't eat bread. Doesn't matter, okay? Now let's imagine you can add anything you want to this metaphor, okay? What would you like to add to it? So let's say it's a kind of business, you can add something to the business. Let's say it's a person, you can give them a superpower or a value or a friend or a pet. Let's say it's a place in nature, you can add more natural elements or man-made elements, whatever you want, add something to it and write it down. And write another one down. Keep going, keep adding to it and see if you can add some helpful things to it. So if it's like a gas station, maybe you want to sell something also in the gas station to help the gas station succeed. Or if it's a ballerina, maybe you want to get her new point shoes or a very, very special dance floor. Keep adding to it. Make a nice list, at least 4 or 5 things you're adding to it. Okay, next we're going to get into little groups of 3 or 4, I think 3. And we're going to go to, we're going to share what our metaphor was, what we added in, and then with your group, in this resourceful light energy of talking about your metaphors and adding in, you're going to choose 3 activities that are even more helpful to you to do when you're procrastinating. So if normally you read a book, I want you to pick 3 other things that would be even better to do for you when you procrastinate, things that help you. You're expanding your ability to procrastinate. You're making it more skillful. And think of your style. So if like your style is to be loving to yourself when you procrastinate, then ask yourself, what would be the best way to be truly loving to myself when I procrastinate? Or let's say you're fearful when you procrastinate. What would really be helpful to my fearfulness when I procrastinate? Not getting more afraid, but helping fear. What would be really true for that? What would truly help it? Because stressing out usually doesn't truly help it, right? Or let's say if you like to escape to procrastinate, like me with my word games, what's an even higher level that I could do with words, right? Could I write a poem instead? Could I do a found poem in a notebook, right? Or maybe something totally different. Okay, so now I'm gonna lean on you, Jeremy. If you can I make you, you are host, Jeremy. So Jeremy, if you could put people in groups of 3. So guys, in your group of 3, share about your metaphor and what you added, and then tell the group what you would do to make your style of procrastinating even more helpful, more skillful, more powerful for yourself, a force of good for you. How can you make it even more helpful to you? Okay. 2, 3 ways. So we're going to do this for 10 minutes and then we're going to come back together. All right, Jeremy, let me know when the groups are formed and we'll start the clock, and then a little 1 minute will come in. So each person will have about 3 minutes to share. And then we'll have a little 1 minute warning comes in and it tells you we're coming back together as a group. So there's lots of ways to go with this, but tonight we want to go with this way. Okay? The metaphors, the adding into the metaphor, and then thinking of ways that procrastination could be even more helpful. And you're really shining a light on your procrastination here. Okay, guys, welcome back. So hopefully you got to talk a little bit and get to know sort of the style of other people's procrastination and the metaphor they use, what they added in, and maybe, I know in my group we got to it, other things they'd like to do to procrastinate. So for example, one person shared walking, meditating. I can't remember what the other one was, but breathing. Yes. So, and it was cool because she remembered how in the past, when she'd been doing those practices, it was easier to actually do the project that she wanted to do. So sometimes like our memory of the past will kick in with really critical information that we need right now. And that's a much more powerful teacher for us than a book we read about the way someone else has done it, or what a friend tells us, or a coach tells us. Most powerful is what we hear from ourselves. So this process is to open that up, and you might be getting ideas later in the day or in the evening or when you dream. So I'm going to go through some more questions right now while you're in the zone before we go into sharing again. So thinking about those 3 things, and if you didn't get them yet, write down 3 new ways that you want to procrastinate. So start to get into the zone of imagining that you've done these 3 new things to procrastinate with. And it's kind of a healthier, more helpful form of procrastination. I want you to check out, how do you feel when you do them? I will feel more of this when I procrastinate in this new, more skillful way. What's that feeling? Write it down for yourself. I will feel more of this when I procrastinate in this new, more skillful way. And let this feeling be a helper right now. It's actually really kind of a amazing friend, this feeling that you get when you imagine procrastinating in a more helpful, more healthy way for yourself. And from that place, ask yourself about some of your beliefs about procrastination. So my beliefs about procrastination are, and just write down as many beliefs as you can think of that you have. Like a negative belief might be, it might be positive beliefs, it might be negative beliefs, whatever beliefs, just get them out on paper. One person might think I'm lazy because I don't do it. Someone else might think I'm focusing on my my family that's more important to me. Someone else might think I'm not doing it because I'm not ready yet. Any belief that comes to you, I want you to just see what beliefs you have. And maybe get 3, 4 beliefs written down. We all have them. And I can even come up with some more to see if they resonate with you in a minute, but I want to give you time. One might be, I'd never connect with anyone if I didn't procrastinate. Oh, one I've heard often, actually, surprisingly, from students, if I didn't procrastinate, I would become too big, too powerful, too successful. That's kind of, but really, this is really a belief a lot of people have. It's surprising, right? But it takes a great deal of honesty for someone to share that. And I've been fortunate to have super honest clients who share that with me. It's kind of a fear of success. Okay, so now that hopefully you have a few beliefs, what are some new friendly beliefs for you? Ask about each belief you currently have about procrastination. And if you were to talk to yourself as though you're a very dear friend, ask yourself, as a really dear, dear friend, what would I believe instead? And these are your friendly beliefs. If I'm being super friendly to myself, super kind and loving, what would my new belief be? What would be my friendly belief? And make a new one for each. So let's say someone's belief they recognize is they think to themselves, I don't have the knowledge to get it done. I can't do it because I lack the knowledge. Their new belief might be, I'm going to do a little research to get a little more knowledge on this topic. That's my new belief. When I bump into that, I'm going to be friendly with myself and know that I can do research. I'm able to do research. So it can be real simple modification. Or let's say someone said to themselves, I don't know, I want to hear some of yours. I want to take a few shares before we do the next part. So anyone have a share that they can share in chat about a belief that they just worked with? Clarity comes with action. That sounds like a friendly belief. Is that a friendly belief, Pauline? Yeah, I love it. Don't need to be productive. Need all capitalized. Beautiful. I am more eager to grow than I'm scared of failing. I'm working when I'm not working. You're your best when you do things without pressure and spontaneously. You're already perfect. It's not right, I can do it again. If it's not right, I can do it again. Okay, great question here from Trisha. I'm going to read a few more and come back to that question. Not ready yet, there will be a better time. I'm making time to complete. Friendly, I will find a much better solution when not under stress. Belief, I'm the only one in the family that works all the time. So what's a friendly? What can you notice that's a friendlier belief? Ask for help. Beautiful. So if our procrastination style is fearful or critical, what are 3 activities that would be more helpful when procrastinating? So tell me what the fearful activities are that are used. Is it researching? Is it do you distract your fear away? Do you some people might eat their fear? What do you do as the actual activity with fear? Distract and eat it away. Okay, so what's another thing that's a better form of distraction for you? So like if you distract on Facebook, is it more helpful to distract with a novel where you're gaining more empathy for the characters? If you eat it away, what else could you do that's a filling up? When there's eating involved, often there's a filling up and actually a grounding of energy that happens when we eat. So what would also be grounding and filling on an even deeper level than food can provide? And come up with your own. Mindful breathing, said someone. Distraction like Facebook. So what's an even better form for you, healthier than Facebook? Now, you know what's funny is I will procrastinate like crazy to not go on Facebook, because Facebook causes me a lot of unease. So I do other things to avoid dealing with social media. So like, you know, it's interesting how different people work. We're all unique in this way. That's one thing I love about this topic. Okay, there's great suggestions here. Watch one of the inspiring TED Talks, go for a walk, read books related to the work I need to do is useful. Fearful activities for me, doing it wrong on purpose, listening about procrastination, doing Reiki, having a time limit and having to do it unfiltered. Beautiful. One I find really helpful too is writing poems about the fear. So if I'm really worried about something, they're bad poems and I'm not trying to make them good poems. Write a bad poem about the topic of fear or guilt or whatever it is. Give yourself permission to do something creative that doesn't have to be good, right? Okay, so the next great sharing, this is a wonderful, creative, resourceful group, obviously, because you're all these incredible leaders. So what can I add into my life that will help me when I start to procrastinate or blame myself? What you add in now might be a skill. It might be one of those beliefs. It might be a picture or metaphor, an action like dancing, listening to a song, talking to someone. Notice how you feel when you add something more beneficial into your experience. Do you have more energy to use towards your initial task or goal? So I'm going to say that again, and I want you to write down, What can I add into my life that will help me when I start to procrastinate or blame myself? It could be a skill. It could be a belief. It could be a metaphor. It could be the metaphor you use for procrastination, how you added to it. It could be an action you take. So let's get a nice list of what you're deciding now that you can add into your life. That's going to be a tool that's there to assist you on days when procrastination comes really close. When it's your, it's alongside you, however it shows up. I have one belief I use, and I had to use it a lot last week finishing the workbook for you guys. And that was, I know I am going to do this. I just don't know when I'm going to do it. But I believe I will do it. I just don't know when I will suddenly have the energy and focus and concentration to do it. But it's going to find me. And that's a really strong belief, actually, when you have a project that, it's trust. Thank you, Nancy. It's trust. And I love that, Pauline. Add in laughter. Some people, by the way, procrastinate things like connecting with their partner. They procrastinate things like being intimate. Procrastination isn't all work-oriented. Some people procrastinate going to the doctor. Someone in my group said that. I could totally relate to that. Sometimes it's self-care related. So that's interesting to kind of be aware of. Sometimes procrastination is not project or work driven at all. So what skill could you add in? What belief? What metaphor? And how could it be a practice for you? Something you give a few minutes a day to, whether or not you're procrastinating, so it builds as a skill. Dance with it for 5 minutes. I love it. Okay, I'm going to give you 1 more minute to write down your skill. And let's make a commitment to it. We call this integrating our truth. So, for example, a commitment to it might be, I'm adding a deep breathing technique I will practice once this week. This will give me the relaxation I crave that I'm trying to get through my procrastination. Or it could be, I'm adding more time of doing nothing so I won't feel burned out. Or it could be, I'm adding a phone call this week to a good friend. This will give me the connection I'm looking for through my procrastination. So it can be very simple actions, easy actions. But make a commitment to yourself of one thing this week. And then if you want to, share your commitment here in chat out loud to the group. A powerful morning routine that sets the tone or empowered state. That's beautiful. It could be even a morning routine that you only commit to for 5 minutes, but you do it before you even get out of bed to go to the bathroom. We can work this at any level so that we actually make it happen. So play piano, bake a great French dessert. Whoa, to share with friends. 5 minutes of dancing when I get home from work before starting dinner. Declutter my desk. I was thinking 20-minute morning routine. Beautiful. I've started a fun practice I committed to, which is a little weird. When I wake up from a dream at night or in the morning, I'm committed to writing it down. And it's pretty funny what your writing looks like in the middle of the night. I've learned that I really shouldn't try to text or type because I can't read it the next day what I've done. I'm in a sleep state. But it's fun. So that's like my commitment I'm sharing with you guys. I commit to writing my dreams down. And I'm hoping that increases my intuition. And intuition will help me when I'm procrastinating. Oh, beautiful, Trey. Actually, when I tell myself it's done, that has allowed me to actually get it done. Teach someone a little of what I'm passionate about. Beautiful. Gratitude meditation that I'm able to accomplish my desire. Beautiful. All right, we've got some commitments. We want more. Everyone make a commitment. You don't have to share it though, but we do love it when you share it. Okay, and then we're going to do our final stage of our coaching session to close our circle. So to close our circle today, I want you to consider going back to whatever style, whatever you learned today about yourself and about your procrastination. You shed some light there, right? Now I'm wondering if there is a kind of archetype, that an archetype is an energy. And just to remind you guys, if we haven't done the archetype session before, there's warrior archetype that might be a protector, strength giving, driving kind of force, seer, doer. There might be an archetype of the lover, the caregiver, the maternal or paternal lover, the passionate lover, the lover of the earth, the lover of all humanity, the fierce love that sees issues and just can kind of go for them, that fierce love. There might be the archetype of the magician, the sorcerer, the creative one. There might be the archetype of the sovereign, the queen, the king, the planner, the kind of puppet master. Do any of those archetype energies seem like they would help you in the process you did today? So let's call one to us just by imagining them, whatever archetype you choose. And imagine that skill that you're going to bring in, that commitment you have to yourself, and imagine yourself right now doing it with the help of that archetype energy. So maybe the magician makes it more fun for you. Maybe the warrior makes you feel more safe and clear and directed as you do it. Whatever it is for you. Maybe the lover helps you feel more connected and joined when you do that activity. Let whatever archetype will serve you. Maybe it's 2 or 3 archetypes in that commitment you have to that skill that you're adding into yourself. And in that imagining of this, just take a few deep breaths and bring it right into your body. The imagining with the help of the archetype, the imagining yourself taking this action, using whatever skill, whatever belief. And as you breathe in, let your whole body feel that power, that efficiency, that centeredness, that wisdom in yourself. And just let that feeling really spread throughout the entire physical body and be really grounded to the earth. And as you're grounded to the earth, feel that skill, how it might build and how it might help your life, how it might help others. That skill that you're adding in that's going to make procrastination more helpful to you. Sometimes make procrastination a lot smaller for you. Sometimes make procrastination itself something very helpful that you do. And let that be felt not just in your body right now, but out in your life, in your community, in your home. So taking a deep breath in and really filling up with that, whatever it is that you're imagining. And thank your archetype helper. And let's take a moment to thank our group here for the support that the presence we provided for each other, the beautiful honesty and caring and creativity. And gosh, I wish I could just unmute all of us, but I know it would get really loud. But I do want to just, let's take a moment to go into gallery view, all the little buttons, and just look at everybody. If you hit gallery view, you can see people's names, see each other's faces, and just, you know, take a moment to say thank you for being here for me. Yeah. Beautiful. Oh, and I love it. All these people went into video who weren't in video. So thank you guys. And I want to take a little time now to process with you and see if anyone has questions or shares. Oh, so good to see you guys. Okay. All right. So anyone have questions about this process or shares, go ahead and either type it in or raise your hand. Okay, Susie.
Hi.
Hi.
It's funny because earlier today I was making a commitment to meditate in my share that I really think that is going to be the key for me of honoring what procrastination is trying to tell me. But just sitting there and listening to you talk about, I brought in the sovereign because I was like, oh, I want to be the gesture because I like lightness. And then I wanted it to be the lover because I'm a lover. But the sovereign was like, I am here. You know, it was just like everything. And just really grounding. So that was a great experience of imagining it through an archetype, like she's there with me. You know, she is me, but she's there with me so that I can kind of remember that. And she was wearing, you know, a beautiful deep purple outfit.
You love it. That's great. Oh,
Yeah, that was great.
yeah,
This is
great.
I
Okay,
like the
good.
whole thing of making friends with procrastination. I can see this very helpful for 2 of my clients. So,
Oh, good. Yeah. And any of these group sessions, please use with individual clients anytime, you know?
yeah,
Yeah. Okay, good.
yeah,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
Thank you for sharing. Thank you for being in my small group.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
So, one thing I wanted to point out in terms of the bigger picture of the sequence of group coaching sessions is I have this in the workbook. I believe it's like in zone 2. So I kind of would expect that participants would have already done self-understanding, some sessions and some sessions with archetypes. So when I introduce archetypes to close, that wouldn't be the first time I was introducing archetypes to a group. They would already kind of have some familiarity because it might be a little surprising or weird for people who'd never heard about them. I love that, Diane. My Viking princess warrior with the magician for focus and inspiration. Sounds almost like a poem. My Viking princess warrior. Okay. All right. Anyone else with a share or a question? It can be now from the perspective of being a coach leading this kind of group as well. And I know that, you know, I chose, gosh, I hate having the drum behind me. It makes my head look really weird. Okay. I chose, I got to scoot over. I chose procrastination as a subject to add in to our group processes because so many coaches have asked me for a group session about procrastination. So I know it's one that often clients ask about, people want to lead groups on. And I think it's important when leading groups that we are helping people get skills and creative resources and not over focusing on the difficulty and the pain of procrastination. because it would be really easy to kind of become a group of sort of whiny people complaining about their procrastination. So in planning this, I was really trying to work kind of against that possibility. And I don't usually say that, like, you know, that's not usually a concern of mine, actually. Like, I like to welcome that part of ourselves. But when it comes to procrastination, I feel like we really have to take a more empowered, wisdom, skillful approach. So I also like the topic of procrastination sometimes to go against all the kind of spiritual, more woo-woo stuff I do. I'm trying to make a little bit more balanced program, and so I am thinking some topics that are really good for bringing up kind of an empowered position that people take with their life, still using creativity, still using spirit, but in a really empowered way. So any topics you guys would like in that area, please share with me. I'm happy to go there. All right. I think people are tired at this time after this long session. Here's a question. Wonderful. Should the client only use one style of procrastination to work with? Fire, air, water, earth. So when you say style, Pauline, do you mean like the styles we were doing at the beginning that people might notice they have several? Okay. So for the sake of the exercise, depending on how much time you have, you can say choose one style to focus on, but you might notice that there are 2 or 3 others that you want to look at later. Some people are very fast, so if they kind of come up with things early, they can move on to their next style. So I really give that over to you as a leader, how you want to handle it. And using the fire, air, water, earth, actually, there's a whole other group coaching session on those elements that I'll be teaching. So I know we give lectures on like client types using the Ayurvedic elements, but I've also designed a group coaching session for you guys using the Ayurvedic elements as a resource. I think I did. I hope I'm not imagining it. I think I designed this, using it as a resource for self-discovery. So that's can be good too. And you can do that without being an Ayurvedic practitioner or having a lot of Ayurvedic information. It's a very simple sort of model. Great. Oh, it was a question. Pauline, I think you're going to have to unmute because I want to hear your beautiful voice. Let me see. We need to unmute you. Sorry, it's just taking me a second here. Okay, Pauline, now I'll be able to hear you.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, I just noticed in our group, there was that situation, and also with somebody else that I know, where they had more than one style, and I think it was complicating the whole process if they tried to look at all the different styles at once. And the comment was about the fire, earth, air, water, was just in regards to you talking about how you designed the class around procrastination and how you were balancing it with some of your other, as you call it, woo-woo, which I love that too. Yeah. But it just really speaks to me because I like the practical along with the emotional and being grounded. Yeah. And you do such a good job in all of your trainings of bringing that all together with your Ayurvedic training of you balance it so well. And I just really appreciate that and how you design your trainings. It's very powerful, especially when you work with groups of people, because you don't know always, is somebody more fire, or somebody more air or earth or water with the emotions just in the first session of working with them. So when you balance it, it does give something for everybody. Yeah, I really like it.
Thank you for bringing this up. I had never even thought about it as relating to the content of this class. But I think that the elements are kind of so integrated in me that you're right. I probably design things always a little bit looking to create balance between them, but I don't consciously think about it at all.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. Beautiful. I hadn't thought of that. Yeah, yeah. And it's a good point that when you're leading a group, really good point, you're going to always have these different types, people who are more direct, who want more clarity, outlines. You're going to have people that are more dreamlike, that want to use their imagination. You're going to have people that are very emotional. They want to know how things feel. And you can speak to that. People who are more foggy, more like kind of kapha is the element that's like earth and water, that can have a lot of positive things, but in the negative can feel a little blocked to creativity or to movement. So when you know that you're going to maybe have all of these things going on in a group, you want to give each subset a little something that will feel tasty to them. It's like you're making this beautiful buffet and you want everyone to be able to eat.